Welcome to AI Paper Drop. I'm Alex.
And I'm Maya.
Imagine your AI analyst quotes a catastrophic risk from a 100-page financial filing verbatim, and then in the very next sentence, tells you to buy the stock anyway.
Wait, so it is not a hallucination? It actually saw the red flag and just ignored it?
Exactly. It is not a mistake. It is a fundamental structural failure where the AI can see the needle in the haystack, but it is completely blind to the fact that the needle is actually a poison dart.
That is terrifying, especially if you're talking about millions of dollars in investment decisions.
Right? And this is where we get into the core problem this paper addresses. For a while now, the big flex in the AI world has been the context window. You know, the amount of data a model can hold in its head at once.
Yeah, it is like the AI version of short-term memory. We have gone from a few pages to entire libraries of text. The pitch is always, just dump the whole 10K filing in there, and the AI will read it all.
Exactly. But the researchers found something they call the retrieval integration gap. Essentially, they discovered that the ability to find a fact is not the same as the ability to use it.
Wait, how is that possible? If the model can quote the sentence back to me, it must understand it, right?
You would think so. But in the world of high-stakes financial analysis, finding a sentence is a retrieval task. Deciding if that sentence means a company is about to go bankrupt is a judgment task. And it turns out those two things are happening in different parts of the AI's process.
So it is like a researcher who has a giant filing cabinet. They can find the exact piece of paper you asked for in 3 seconds, but when it comes time to write the final report, they forget that the paper even exists.
That is a perfect way to put it. They are great at the search, but they fail at the synthesis.
So, how does the AI actually handle this? What is happening under the hood that causes this gap?
The paper suggests the AI is basically running two parallel channels. Think of it as a lookup store and a running summary.
A lookup store, like a digital index?
Exactly. The lookup store is great for those needle-in-the-haystack questions. But the running summary is more like a reader taking cumulative notes as they go. This summary is what actually drives the final judgment.
Okay, I think I see the problem. As the document gets longer, the running summary gets crowded.
Precisely. The wires connecting the lookup store to the final decision start to fray. By the time the AI gets to the end of a massive document, the critical risk disclosure it found on page 10 has been pushed out of the running summary by thousands of words of irrelevant filler.
So even if the lookup store says, hey, here is that risk on page 10, the decision-making part of the brain has already moved on.
Right? To fix this, the authors propose something called the decision proximal representation principle.
That sounds like a lot of academic jargon. Give it to me in plain English.
Basically, it means you cannot just tell the AI to read a long document and decide. You have to extract the critical facts into a structured cheat sheet and place that cheat sheet immediately next to the final question.
So instead of saying, read this 100-page PDF and tell me if I should buy, you say, find the risks, put them in a bulleted list right here, and now tell me if I should buy based on this list.
Exactly. You're moving the evidence closer to the decision.
I mean, that sounds intuitive, but did they actually prove it? Because I feel like some of the newer, bigger models should be able to handle this naturally.
That is the wild part. They tested this across different model families, and the results were pretty shocking. In real-world tests using SEC filings, the models retrieved critical risk disclosures with about 93% accuracy.
93%? That is almost perfect. So the AI is seeing the risk.
It is. But as the document length increased, the influence of that information on the final investment decision dropped to almost zero.
Wait, it literally just stopped matching? Even though the AI knew it was there?
Exactly. It hit what they call the noise floor. The critical warning became just another piece of text, indistinguishable from the corporate fluff.
Okay, that is actually wild. I would have assumed a more capable model, like the top-tier ones we see now, would just have a better running summary.
The researchers checked that. More capable models actually postponed the crash. They could handle a bit more text before the gap opened up, but they did not eliminate it. No matter how big the brain was, it eventually hit that wall.
So adding more computing power or those new extended thinking modes is not the cure.
Not on its own. The real win came when they changed the workflow. When they forced the AI to extract then decide, instead of just read and summarize, the retention of critical information jumped by 5 times.
5 times? That is a massive jump. It sounds like the problem is not the AI's intelligence, but its organization.
That is the big takeaway. The performance is jointly determined by the model's capability and the workflow architecture.
Which means we have been evaluating these things all wrong. We have been asking, can the AI find the fact? And when it says yes, we trust it.
Right? But a retrieval audit is a fake test. It certifies a system that can quote the facts while simultaneously ignoring them in the final judgment.
So if I am building an AI tool for a law firm or a hedge fund, I cannot just buy the model with the biggest context window and call it a day.
Definitely not. You have to build a pipeline that forces the AI to surface the evidence and stare at it while it makes the decision.
It really changes how you think about AI agents. It is less about giving them a bigger library and more about giving them a better way to take notes.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, reading is not the same as using.
If you're enjoying this, follow or subscribe to AI Paper Drop wherever you listen. It really helps, and we have a new episode every day.
Paper by Miao Lu, Zhizha Lu, produced by AI Paper Drop.